In July, your tomato plants may look perfectly healthy. The leaves are green, the fruits are filling out, and new flowers continue to appear at the tops. It seems that the hardest part is already behind you, and all that remains is to wait for the harvest. But just a few cool, damp nights are enough for the situation to begin changing right before your eyes. At first, one small brown spot appears on the lower leaves. Then the stems begin to darken, and the foliage starts to droop. 3. And tomatoes that looked healthy only recently begin to rot directly on the plants. 3. Moreover, late blight can even appear on fruits that you have already picked and placed indoors to ripen. Today, a tomato may look perfectly clean, but a few days later, a hard, dark spot appears on it. That is why you need to fight late blight before the entire plant has already turned black, not after. In this video, I will show you what needs to be done with tomato plants in July to reduce the risk of disease and preserve the harvest until the end of the season. Today, we will look at the most effective ways to prevent late blight and also find out how one inexpensive little bottle from an ordinary pharmacy can become an important part of tomato protection. I will show you a little later exactly what is inside this bottle and how to use it correctly. And closer to the end, we will talk about when it is better to pick tomatoes while they are still green, so they do not perish during the cold August nights. 9. Late blight develops especially quickly when cool temperatures and prolonged moisture occur at the same time. The weather may be hot during the day, but the temperature drops noticeably at night. Dew forms on the leaves, condensation develops inside the greenhouse, and water droplets may remain on the plants until morning. A leaf that stays wet for a long time becomes a favorable place for infection. That is why the main principle of protection is very simple. The faster the plant dries after the night, rain, or watering, the fewer favorable conditions remain for the disease to develop. First, inspect the lower part of the plants. Do not look only at the top, which usually stays green longer than the rest of the plant. The early stage of late blight often looks like blurred brown spots without clearly defined edges. During wet weather, a pale coating may appear on the underside of the leaf near the spot. Later, the spots spread to the stems and fruits. 8. Do not confuse late blight with blossom end rot. With blossom end rot, a dark dry spot appears on the bottom of the fruit itself. It is not caused by an infection spreading through the plant, but by disrupted calcium uptake, which often occurs because of inconsistent watering. But if spots appear on the leaves, then spread to the stems and gradually affect the fruits, you need to act quickly. But it is even better not to wait for these signs. Start with the free actions that you can take today. The first action is to remove the lower leaves that are touching the ground or growing too close to it. These leaves receive the least airflow and stay wet longer than all the others. In addition, water splashes and soil particles land on them during rain or watering. Do not strip the entire plant in one day. Remove 2 or 3 leaves at a time so the plant does not experience severe stress. It is best to do this work in the morning during dry weather. The places where the leaves were removed will have enough time to dry before evening. 20. Do not leave the removed leaves under the plants, especially leaves with suspicious spots. 20. Collect them in a separate container and remove them from the garden bed. Do not place diseased tomato foliage in regular compost that will later be returned to the garden. 3. After the lower leaves have been removed, an open, well-ventilated space should appear around the stem, allowing moisture to evaporate more quickly. In a greenhouse, opening just one small vent is not enough. Whenever possible, open the door and the opposite transom so that air can flow through the entire structure. 30. On warm nights, the greenhouse can be left partially open if the temperature does not fall to levels that are dangerous for the plants. The main goal is to prevent condensation from dripping onto the leaves all night long. In the morning, Inspect the inner surface of the polycarbonate or plastic film. If it is covered with large droplets, open the greenhouse as early as possible and ventilate it. Otherwise, a small rain shower will effectively begin inside. The second important action is to change the way you water. Tomatoes should be watered at the roots, while trying to keep the leaves and stems dry. The best time for watering is during the first half of the day. The plant receives water before the heat, while the soil surface and the air around the bush have enough time to dry before evening. Evening watering leaves the garden bed damp throughout the entire cool night. It is especially dangerous to water from above with a hose in the evening, when the water lands on all the foliage. Do not water a little every day. Water deeply enough, depending on the condition of the soil. During cloudy and cool weather, increase the intervals between watering. By the end of the season, when most of the fruits have already filled out, the plant's need for water gradually decreases. The third action is to cover the soil surface with mulch. You can use dried grass, straw, hay, or another clean plant material. 40. Mulch performs several tasks at once. It reduces water evaporation, protects the roots from overheating, and prevents splashes from the soil surface from reaching the lower leaves. The effective mulch layer should be approximately 5 to 7 centimeters thick. Do not place a thick layer of wet grass directly against the stem. Leave a small open space around it so that moisture does not accumulate there. Now look at the plant itself. If it is a tall, indeterminate tomato and there is little time left before the end of the warm season, assess the upper flower clusters. Ovaries that form too late may not have enough time to grow and ripen. In regions with short summers, the top of a tall plant is usually pinched several weeks before the expected end of the season. Several leaves are left above the final formed fruit cluster, after which the growing point is removed. This stops the plant from endlessly growing taller and directs more resources toward the fruits that have already formed. Consider not only the calendar but also the climate of your region. And now we come to that simple remedy from the pharmacy. It is ordinary pharmacy iodine, a small bottle that many people are used to using only for treating wounds. On tomatoes, it is not used undiluted, but in a very weak preventive solution. This solution is applied in advance, while most of the leaves are still green and clean. For 10 liters of water, use only 10 drops of ordinary pharmacy iodine. Then add approximately 1 liter of milk whey. When whey is not available, low-fat milk is sometimes used, but whey spreads more effectively over the surface of the leaves. Whey helps the solution cover the leaf more evenly and remain on its surface longer. Iodine is used in a very low concentration as a component of preventive treatment. Excess iodine can cause yellowing, curling, and burns on the leaves. That is why the drops must be counted precisely. More does not mean better here.
We gently
Prepare the solution immediately before treatment and use it on the same day.
Is essential for keeping the
pour the mixture into a clean plastic sprayer. Do not store the remaining solution until the following week. Apply the treatment after the morning dew has dried, or closer to evening, but leave enough time for the foliage to dry before the nighttime temperature drop. Do not spray the plants under the scorching sun during rain or when the leaves are already wet. And this is where there is a mistake that makes even a correctly prepared solution almost useless. Most gardeners spray the plant only from above. The upper side of the leaf becomes wet, while the underside remains almost dry. But it is underneath the leaf where moisture remains longer and where the first suspicious spots often appear. Therefore, first carefully lift the branches and direct the sprayer from below upward. Treat the underside of the leaves first, and then the upper surface and the stems. The solution should settle in fine droplets, covering the leaves evenly. It should not run down the plant in streams or collect in large drops on the ground. During periods of cold dew and damp nights, this preventive treatment is usually repeated after approximately 7 to 10 days. After heavy rain, the solution may be washed off, so the condition of the plants should be checked again. If late blight appears every year in your region, potatoes are growing nearby, or a prolonged period of cold and rainy weather is expected, one homemade solution may not be enough. In that case, use a preventive product approved for tomatoes strictly according to the manufacturer's instructions. Continue inspecting the lower leaves every few days. The earlier a suspicious spot is noticed, the easier it is to remove the individual affected part and prevent the disease from quickly moving upward through the plant. If the disease is already spreading rapidly throughout the entire plant, the iodine solution will not be able to restore the damaged tissues. In that situation, the main goal is to protect the neighboring plants and save the fruits that are still healthy. You do not always need to wait until every tomato turns completely red on the plant. When a period of cold rain, fog, and prolonged dew is approaching, mature green and breaker stage fruits are better picked in advance. This is especially true for tomatoes that have already reached their normal size and have begun to lighten near the stem. These fruits are capable of ripening indoors. They do not have to continue hanging on the plant under cold dew in order to develop their final color. Harvest on a dry day. Do not place healthy fruits in the same box as tomatoes with spots, cracks, or other damage. Inspect every fruit carefully. 75 store suspicious fruits separately and use them first, but only if they are suitable for eating. Fruits with obvious rot are better discarded immediately. Arrange healthy green and breaker stage tomatoes in 1 or 2 layers in a dry room. Do not seal them in an airtight bag or leave them wet. More mature pink and breaker stage fruits will ripen faster. Firm green tomatoes will need more time, so it is convenient to store them separately. To speed up ripening, you can place 1 ripe tomato or an apple nearby. Ripe fruits release ethylene, which speeds up the ripening of the neighboring tomatoes. Check the boxes every few days, remove the ripe fruits, and immediately separate any tomatoes showing signs of spoilage from the rest. Before especially cold and damp nights, the remaining plants can be temporarily protected with covering material. Install the cover over hoops or supports so that the material does not lie directly on the wet leaves. In the morning, the cover must be opened or removed. If the plant is left covered on a warm day, heat and condensation will quickly build up inside, creating a new problem. After watching, go out to your plants and check 3 things. Are there any leaves lying on the ground? Do the plants remain wet after the night? And where does the water go during watering? To the roots or over all the foliage? Write in the comments whether dew has already appeared in your region and whether you grow tomatoes in a greenhouse or in the open ground. Save this video so that the exact protection plan remains close at hand until the end of the season. And subscribe to the Practical Self-Sufficiency channel, depending on which channel. Here, we examine practical ways to care for plants without dangerous experiments or unnecessary expenses. Protect your tomatoes in advance while the leaves are still green and the fruits are still clean. Because prevention carried out at the right time is always easier than trying to save a plant that has already turned black.